Okay, good evening to you all. Today is our day 54 of this 3-month data analytics bootcamp. Like I said, this bootcamp will last for about 3 months, and today is our day 54. Like always, we start by showing our outlines. That is what we are to cover for the day. So we'll have a recap on what we did yesterday. That is day 53. And today we are going to talk about having by command. That's what we are going to talk about. Okay, that's the only command we are going to talk about. We'll have question and answer, conclusion, and we call it a day. So yesterday, if you can recall, we talked about length function, and we also talk about group by function. So today's class it will be more of complementary of what we did yesterday as a group by. Is like having by clause going hand in hand with group by function. Let me say this to you so that you will not get confused. You only use having by function whenever you want to aggregate data that was grouped by. Just understand this. It's only a data that you group by, that you used having by to aggregate such data. But if you didn't use group by command in any way, you cannot use having by command. So it's only when you use group by, use having by. But if you didn't use group by, then go ahead and use your where condition to do whatever you want to do, because having by and whereby are almost doing the same thing. They are almost doing the same thing, but the only reason why you use having by is when you want to aggregate a data and that data is being grouped by. Please understand this so that you will not get confused, because having by is one of the most frequent question you will be asked, especially during SQL interview or seeing SQL questions. If you didn't understand how to use having by, they will just trick you and they confuse you and you will lose the exam or you will lose the interview. So that's why I just separate them yesterday, and I'm going to teach you how to use it today so that you will not get confused and you just look at it and start smiling at people when they are talking about having by is confusing. It's not going to confuse you any more. So let's go to our studio and see what we can do there. Okay. Sorry, I'm sharing my screen. Oh, let's go ahead and open something that I don't want to open it. Okay, so here we are. I believe you can all see my screen. So let me open my query. Let's start using the Hamad. Use Hamad. Let's start using the database which we have. So sorry, I just opened something and my system is loading it. I mistakenly click on something. I know it's going to be a little bit slow, but it's okay. Let's continue. I use the Hamad function. But let me okay, let's do this having by. After I would remind me, I have to talk about something yesterday that I missed, and we're going to discuss about is related to length. So before we let's talk about the having by. So I already told you, let's select our data first so that from Nigeria. Okay, this is our data. Okay, so now what I want you to understand is that whenever you use having a group by is only when you use having by. So let's go back to our group by of yesterday. What did we do yesterday? I think what we said is that let's just select anything. Let's say I just want to select something that is not this three. We only have uh okay, the position and the salary. Let's just use the position and salary. Let me just select position, some salary. So I'll group it group by position. So I just want to see the salary. I just want to see the salary, but I want to group them based on the positions of the staff. So look at what we just did. Now we returned the positions of the staffs and the salary, total salary of all the positions. That's what we did. So understand this. You might be asked sometimes that, okay, you just got this, but what if you need to know only those salary, that is the group salary, that is greater than 100,000. That's all what you want to know. Positions that has greater than 100,000 salary. How do you get it? I told you, if you didn't group it by salary, if you just select, you just want to pass whereby to do that. But if you group the data now, and we want to see only those that the group of their salary is greater than 100,000, then that would bring us to using of having by. So look at it now. So we are going to say having by, that's it. Then I'm going to pass the salary. So I'm going to say having by some salary is greater than 100,000. So now, if the salary is greater than 100,000, if I execute it now, okay, sorry, I don't need this sum. Sorry, is greater. Having by salary is greater. I don't need that sum. I'm sorry, I made mistake in that. So let's just execute it now. Okay, having by, okay, position. Yeah, position. Okay, yeah, sorry, is salary. I need salary. Now I have to select salary. I have to select salary. I don't even need this position. I don't even need that position. Oh, what's wrong? I know I made mistake somewhere. Oh, I know I'm writing it correctly. It's just because of this. Sorry, I don't need that. Some salary. I know where I made mistake somewhere. I made mistake somewhere. I know. Okay, we don't need to put that having by. Please don't put that by. We don't have by there. That's where I made mistake. But the way I put this sum of salary is also okay. So let me explain it again. So let me explain it. So now, first of all, let me remove this. Let's just bring it back the way it is. We have this, like I said, we have the group by now. So we want to know only the group that their salary is more than 100,000. So we just need to say having salary, the sum of salary, that is sum of this salary that we got, to be greater than 100,000. So that's what we need. So please understand all this. I just confused it. Like say having by. So it's supposed to be having without the by. So remove that by. That when I put by, we got mistake. So before I put that by. So we don't need that by. So you just need to do this. So understand this, please. So now if I execute it, it will return only the group of positions that their salary is greater than 100,000, and this is what we have. Is their salary is greater than 100,000. If we want those that their salary is less than 100,000, then it will return others, that is the director, the financial officer, and software development. All of them, their salary is not greater than 100,000. So please understand this and understand what this is and how to get this. So this is this is one way of doing this having by. Let's take another example so that we can create another one. Select all from, let me just look at the data first. Let me look at the data again so that we'll just see what we are going to do now. So now, let's say maybe we want to select it based on, we have less than, okay, the all what we have is just not much. It's just two. So even when we passed the data, it's just going to give us two. If we select other thing, it will give us something like that. Yeah, but I don't know what to do. We're supposed to have more than this data, but it's okay. Oh, let me update. It's okay. It's okay. But please let me update something. I just want us to, let's update some departments, maybe some true data science. Oh, this null that we have, null of ID3. Let's just update it. So let's update Nigeria. Set, we want to say department. Then here we will say Nigeria dot, um, no, I just say department equals to, I'll just call it graphics design, where ID is equals to 3. I think that's all what I need. One row affected. And let me, I'm sorry, let me just update another one. Uh, let me update this ID9. So let me just update ID9 again. So I'll just say ID9. I'll just update it. Okay, so let me see again. So we need like 3 of it. So graphic design, we need like 3. So let me update ID7 again. ID7. So like this. So we updated 3. So we have 3. So now let's group everything. Let's group our data by what do we call it? By department. So we are going to say select department, some, or let's say count. Let's just count department. So I have to put it inside this. So count department from Nigeria. Now we group by department. So let me show you what we just did. You already know all this. So it counts how many we have in each department. That is how many staffs we have in each department. So data science 2, graphic design 3, software development, we have 3. So this is what we have. So now I told you this is what brings us to use the having by clause, so that now we want to filter only those departments that has more than 2 staffs. So if they have only 2, we will not see it. So we need the department that have more than 2 staffs. So we are going to say, for example, having count department is what? Greater than 2. That's it. So any department that has more than 2 staffs, we want to return such department. Others, we don't need them. So now if I execute it, already return graphic design and what? Graphic design and software development for us. So if I put less than 2, it will only return what? It will already return. If I put less than 2, it will already return what? We don't have any department with less than 2. We don't. So it has to be less than or equals to 2, for example. So less than or equals to, it will return data science for us. That's how we use this. So please understand this. This is where you use having clause. But let me show you something. If we didn't use this having clause, if we didn't use this having clause, for example, now let me just click here. Let me just comment this. Let me put the semicolon. Let's do this. So now if you use this, you select this department, you see you didn't group it by, it's going to show this for you. So, but let me get rid of this. Let me get rid of this. So we have this 8. We have this 8 and we have this. That's what we have. So now, let me say select all, because I want to show you something. it will not do that because we need to group it, but like this. Okay. So here it is now. For example, whenever you want to use where, as you already know there, maybe I'm just selecting, I'm not aggregating. Now I'm not aggregating. For example, I just want to say select department, and I want to give a criteria for the department. I want to give a criteria for the department. Or let me just say count department. So we are, oh no. Okay, so department, we cannot count it. Sorry. If I use this, I have to do that. So let me say select department, salary, select department and salary. So I select this. So I want to use my um where department is equals to graphics design. Okay, so now when I use this, I just have this. I didn't use group by. If I want to sort this, I will just get it like this because yeah, this is what I have and this is what is going to show for me. But if I use group by to do that, because now if I use having, let me show you this. If we use having department equals to this, it will surely give us this. It will give us a row because we cannot use having when we didn't use group by. That's what I want to show you. Please take note on this. So whenever you are going to use having, make sure that you aggregate, you group your data, then followed by what? Followed by having. But sometimes also, let me bring this back. Sometimes also we can, after we got this, we can also use where in this scenario. We can also use where. We can also use where before group by. But take note on this is only when you were asked to get that. For example, now, even though we got these directors, director salary, financial officer, software developer, even though we got it like this, you can be asked that we don't need director in the list. We don't need director in the list. So I can say, or maybe I can say, for example, we only need director. Maybe we only need directors or software developer salary, even out of this group by criteria that we did. So I can say where, for example, where position is equals to, then I can say software developer. So now if we execute it, it will what? It will return only software developer for us. But if we want to remove software developer, I can say where not position. It's better for me to use this, but I can use other one. If I remove software developer, it means I don't need to see salary of those that are under software developer. I only need the rest of the people. So you can use where before group by and before also after, then you use your having by. So you can have all this, and you can use this not, or you can use that not that we did for the expression, which is this not equals to. So you can use this not equals to and that not, they are all the same thing. So it will give you the same result. So please don't get confused on this. Please practice it because it's one of the most confusing. It is among the confusing things in SQL, that is using the having clause, using the having clause. Please take note on this and know how to work with it. Learn it, practice it. I told you right from the beginning, you only use having clause or having command in SQL whenever you use group by command. If you didn't use group by, please, you don't need having clause. And you only use having clause when you want to aggregate a data in what? In group by. So this is it. And if you have a question, you can drop your question. Don't worry. Immediately I'm done, I will respond to your questions. What I want to us to talk about yesterday, we discussed about um Learn. Yeah, we talked about learn yesterday. So I say select, let me see, learn. Okay, let me say select nin. Then I will get the learn of nin also from Nigeria. Yeah, that's what we did yesterday. This is what we did, of course. So I told you that if you want to know the nin, I tried to show you that if you want to know the nin that greater than 13, you can use your where clause. You can pass that condition of where clause to get that. So what I did yesterday, I put where nin is greater than 11. This is what I put yesterday, if I can recall, and we get arrow. This is the arrow that we got yesterday that overflowed an integer. This is what we got yesterday. The reason we got this is I forgot that we need to apply the same length function in our where condition so that it will understand that, okay, we are saying that when the length of this particular condition is greater than this, because as it is now, it will not do it for us because it is not an integer. It is not an integer, is a string. Our nin is a string, and that way it cannot take this. So for us to do that, we are going to see where this len, open bracket, nin is greater than 11. So any nin that is greater than 11, it's going to show us, we are going to get the result on that. And this is the only nin that is greater than 11. That is nin that is for ID 1. So let me see something. I can say select nin. Okay, let me select ID and nin. Let me see if it will bring it. Yeah, so it's ID 3. So it's only ID 3 that has more than 11 nin. So let's see if there is any ID that has less than 11. So if there is no, now we can update this. So it's only that ID that has greater than 11. So ID number 3. So by default, if we want to clean our data, then we can go ahead and clean the data where the ID is greater than 11, or we can just see where the ID is 3. So if you like, you can just go ahead. So we can just say update. We update it. Nigeria set, then we say nin equals to, then we write whatever we want, but it will not pass 11. So 760 for, yeah, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So like this, then we see where ID is equals to 3. So now if we execute it, it will update it for us. Here it is to one row affected. Now, if we select our data, you see we have this. And if we run that learn function for us to know any data that has more than 11 or any account number that is more than 10, then we will not have it. This is how you get it, and this is how you update your database and how you correct it. Please understand all these are methods of data cleaning. That's why I just keep showing you all this, learn this and that, just for you to know how to do it when you are to clean your data in SQL. So all these skills that you are learning, what you learn in Excel, whatever you can do in Excel, you're supposed to be doing it. You can be able to do it also in what? In SQL. But now you are writing the query. And the more you write the query, I told you, the more query you can think of, the more professional you are in it. The more you practice it, the more you'll be more perfect in it. If you stop doing it, you'll get confused, you will forget it. And someone who is frequently working with it will be more expert than you in it. And if you are not working with it seriously, if not because of teaching it with people, or like I'm teaching other people, I could have forgot all this, because in my life I never work with SQL for anybody in Nigeria, never. So that one thing about it, me, I never work on in any organization or company that are using SQL. The people we are working with, sometimes you see, even Excel, some they didn't even know how to work with. So talk less of you to talk about SQL for them. So it's very challenging for us to retain the knowledge here. And I don't want you to lost the knowledge also. Please practice it, keep practicing it, keep at least as you are teaching other people, you will be learning. Because sometimes I'm just doing all these topics for you, just like that, this and that. Sometimes it is good for me to just see that the knowledge is just like coming up, this and that. I don't used to even write it down so that maybe, yeah, I'll practice before the class. I don't have such time, but you need to learn it, you need to understand it, and you need to be practicing it so that you'll not forget the knowledge. Because in Nigeria, it's very easy for you to forget it. It's very easy. It's very easy because it's difficult for you to find someone that needs this kind of work, even at our maybe university level or whatever level you might think of, whatever level you might think of. So, but it's good. It's good to have the knowledge. It's good to be working with the knowledge also. If even if you don't have a data, create your own data, load it, keep writing the queries. It's very awesome when you are writing SQL queries. Very awesome. I told you you will also you will love it. I will give you assignment. Don't worry. I'll give you assignment, and such assignment that I'm going to give you will be a challenge into you. And we are going to I will dedicate one day just for us to solve the assignment together. And you're going to see how to write the queries, how to write all everything and the rest. So that one will help you a lot. But keep understanding how we are using this, how we are working with this. That's why I'm taking it step by step for you. So we can stop here also. We can stop here because tomorrow, okay, tomorrow is Monday. Yeah. We can round up the class, the week tomorrow with other functions. Then maybe next week, I'll try as much as I can for us to treat the subqueries and to touch other part. Definitely don't forget, after that subquery, we are going to talk about join. So we'll talk about joins the next week. I don't want us to talk about it this week so that you will not get more confused because we did a lot this week. So I will leave that next week. We treat it, then we treat other things that has to do with other things also. So yeah, let's stop here. I don't want us to go deep again. So please keep practicing this. If you have anything, you ask. If you don't, we call it. And don't forget all what we did. Please memorize everything in your head. Do the interview. Nobody will allow you to open your book. Just memorize it. Yes, if you have large data, the question is if you have large data, yes, you can put it in SQL and clean it. Then after you are done with SQL, you can go take it back to Excel. Because I told you SQL is faster and it's faster for you if you can just go ahead and write the queries. Bring your data. That's what a lot of people are doing when they have even messy data and whatever. But they just go ahead if you are not because other people are not expert in Excel. What you know in Excel, a lot of people didn't know it. So they learn SQL. So whenever they want to clean data, they do it in SQL because it's what they know. Some people don't know how to do concatenating in Excel. They don't know how to use other if formula. They don't know all such if length and is blank that if nest. They don't know how to do all such. They don't know how to clean data. So they don't know all such text to column and whatever data validation that you know. So they will take it to SQL. They write their queries, they clean the data, they save it, and they return it back to SQL to do their analysis. And this is what a lot of people are doing. You clean data in SQL, you visualize it and analyze it in what? You do it in Power BI, Tableau, and other visualization tools, and Excel, just take it back there. Because SQL is faster. One query now, if I write it, it's just going to change everything for me. And yeah, I'm okay and I'm good to continue. So please take note on that. Take note on that. And this that we are doing, most of all this that we are doing, the changing, the that, if I save, it will be saved in our database. So everything we have done so far, if I save it, it will be in our database, it will be saved. So even if we close the database, we come back yesterday, we will continue where we stopped. And that's how it is in here. So that's how it is. Yeah, just because you were not asked, or you didn't work with something during interview, just because you didn't do work with something during your work, doesn't mean you will not be asked such in your interview. That's how it is. Who told you what you were asked in interview is what you are going to work with in organization? Who told you that? That's not how it works. If you're going to be hired in EFCC, they are going to ask you current affairs. They are going to ask you English, mathematics, quantitative reasoning, and verbal aptitude. That's what they will ask you. And I don't know if there is no way when you were hired, you are going to start doing verbal quantitative reasoning in AFCC. Just because you were asked something in interview doesn't mean you are going to work with it in working place. That's how it works. So interview, they will ask you whatever they want to ask you because they want to know your experience. And they want to know who are you. They want to know, okay, if something happens, because the organization now I come in, the people are doing things. What if the company someone want to hire them just to do that work for them and they hired you as data analyst and you have no idea what SQL is all about? So does that mean what do you mean? It's just like you have to be a ready-made person. You have to learn something even if you're not going to work with it. Even and all the even without interview, people will bring work to me. And I told you nobody ever bring SQL work to me. But that doesn't mean I shouldn't learn SQL or I shouldn't teach people SQL or I shouldn't, practice the SQL and understand how SQL work well. Because I knew even if I didn't work with it anymore, one day surely I know I'll work with it. Even if I didn't, I'm teaching you now, and I believe some of you will work with it somewhere. And that's the something about it. And during interview, I told you if you are to do interview, they will ask you everything. They'll ask you everything. So don't worry, don't even mind about whether I work with it in where I worked or I never. That doesn't mean there are lots of tools I never work with them in wherever I worked. Never. And that doesn't mean I should maybe underrate them or abandon them or something like that. In Nigeria, who told you you are going to go out of? In Nigeria, you're not going to go out of Microsoft Office packages when you are to work in Nigeria. You are not. No organization will ask you to work with Power BI. Most of them. So does that mean you are not going to learn Power BI? And they will ask you about Power BI in interview. No, ask you because the interview sometimes they will just copy interview that are from developed country and ask you the question. If you cannot answer it, you will not get the job. And in Nigeria, it's only where they will ask you tough question in interview. When you go to the office, they'll just give you template and say, okay, this is what you just keep doing and give it to us. That's how it works. So it's not whether I work with it or not that is not something of value, but it is, and I told you is the most commonly used data this thing I say acceptable universal because SQL is universal and it's faster when it comes to data cleaning and data analysis. People use it. They use it almost everywhere. It's just Nigeria that we are not more reliable on databases. Most of the companies doesn't have databases, this and that, so that why we don't focus on that. We are just like this. But you need to learn it, you need to master it. You will be asked. You will be asked. So I don't want someone to come and tell me they asked me this and I forgot. So that's left for you. That's left for you. But you have a lot to learn. You have a lot to learn. You see, all these tools, Excel, SQL, Power BI, Tableau, SPSS, Stata, all these tools, you need to learn them. You need to learn them. You need to master them. You need to have them in your head at least, so that you will be prepared and you will be ready. You have no idea how this is when you maybe found yourself in organization, working there, and you have all this talent in you. You are looking for only one chance or one opportunity. And believe me, you will be somewhere you never expect to be because of that knowledge alone. It's not because of the position they hired you. It's because of that extra knowledge that you and that what makes you, to stand out of other people because of such understanding that you have. Okay, so if you have a question, please you ask. If you don't have a question, we call it a day. And I told you, if you didn't practice this, I just like, it seems I'm just wasting my time. Yes, of course. And you'll forget this. If you are not practicing it, you'll forget it. You'll forget it definitely. I've been practicing all these things. I learned SQL for it's been more than 10 years. I learned SQL, more than 10 years. And I've been practicing it. I've been working with it just on my own. I told you I never work with SQL to anybody. Never. But that doesn't mean you abandon it. That doesn't mean. And it will help you. All this that you are seeing, it all will help you it boosts your experience. It boosts your experience in creating different functions. I knew most of the function in SQL before Excel. So it's just when I knew them in SQL, I tried them in Excel and I see they work there and they are there. So that's how it works, and that's how you have experience. You don't learn knowledge just because maybe you want to work with it or you want to make money. No. Knowledge is something that will increase your IQ. When you have knowledge, your IQ will be different because you are seeing a lot of people are seeing something, very small. So that's why you read. That's why you read always. That's why you learn, you keep learning and you don't stop. So don't that's why some of you that after 3 months they think they are done with data analytics, they are good, they are that. I just laugh at them. Someone would just tell me after we just did 40 days in Excel, I'm done with Excel. What next? I will just laugh at you. You're done with Excel just after 40 days, just because you spent 40 days learning something. That's not how it works. You need to challenge yourself and learn more. That's it. That's the reality. I'll not tell you that you are done. Just go ahead and just keep doing what you're doing. Okay, so let's just call it a day, and we meet tomorrow. We have a lot to cover. I just started to see that we didn't talk about arithmetic operators with you. We didn't talk about them. I just see it, and you can be asked during interview on such arithmetic operators. It's okay. We can't cover it this week. Tomorrow is just we can't. So let's just meet tomorrow. We cover it next week. If we come back, we just conclude it. Then yeah, Power BI will not spend much in it. Will not spend much in it. The DAX we are going to talk about is not going to be much, since you already learn how to create all this. Maybe I will just move to, let's start to create the dashboard to see how to do other things there. Then we move to PowerPoint and finalize everything. We are almost at the batch of calling it a day. So thank you so much. See you tomorrow and have a wonderful dream. Bye bye.